Start recording. Stop recording. Button.
Another video. I don't know what's going on with my voice. But I like it. um, Today I want to make a video this morning. You guys know I always make my videos like late at night, early morning, whatever you prefer to call it. Ooh, excuse me. And I want to have a conversation about being gay and the experience. And I know I've made a couple videos about the subject and stuff like that, and I just want to have the conversation. And later on going to do a video where me and my brother are going to discuss this too. But I want to get a little ahead of the game. So as you guys know, I am African American. I am an African American gay blind man. Um, I've always known I was gay. Ever since I could remember, where you could differentiate between boys and girls, and knowing what you liked. I knew at a very early age that I preferred to just hang with the girls. There wasn't anything. I didn't like the girls or anything like that. I liked the boys because as children you have no filter, so you don't know. You just go off your emotion when you're a child, and sometimes you say bad things that are bad things to adults because you're a child and you don't know, and you just don't have a filter. I'm sorry. So you go off of your emotion, or what you feel, or what you think, or what you're thinking or feeling at that moment. Um, for me, I always knew I was different. Before there was a label put on it, I knew there was something different about me. Um, I knew that I wasn't like the other boys that were in my class, or the other boys that were in my neighborhood. I just knew that I wasn't like them. And it was a scary thing once a label got slapped onto it, because contrary to popular belief of a lot of people that think gay people were touched, or they were molested, or they saw somebody being gay and they were taught to be gay. Number one, I wasn't taught to be gay. Number two, my family is very conservative. Very, 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 very conservative black family. Um, my mom didn't have gay friends that I knew of, that I saw as a child. My female aunts never had any gay friends or anything that I knew of, or I was able to see. So no one taught me to be gay. There wasn't anything on TV that was representing gay people at the time. I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 1991, so there were no spaces where gay people occupied that I could learn the behavior, or what people think is the behavior of being gay. Um, for me, the pivotal moment when I realized there was something, where the pivotal moment where I realized society thought there was something wrong with who I was I had to be in the first or second grade. I'm not really sure. I don't want to lie, but I know I was in between those grades. There was a guy in my class. His name was Kirby, and I had um, I know I liked him more than just being a friend. Um, he was very nice to me. Always was really cool with me. Um, before kids started being cruel, um, we weren't at the age yet where we were being cruel to each other. So um, I can't remember exactly what the situation was. but we were leaving the lunchroom of our elementary school, and we had to been talking about something, or he said something, and I hugged him. And I remember an adult male um, telling him, not speaking to me because they don't like to speak to the gay or the punk or the sissy. He specifically spoke to the other young man, was like, hey, don't be hugging him. That shit's gay. He's a faggot. And of course, I didn't know. He knew what it was. I didn't. Of course, his family may have been having those conversations about gay people, or having the conversation around him, or whatever it may be, but he knew what he was saying. I didn't, because once again, my family was very conservative. They didn't speak that way. Yes, I grew up in the hood, but my parents weren't from the hood. And we did not speak that way in my home. I rarely heard cursing unless it was from my dad, who was rarely in my life as a child. Um, so no, my mom's side of the family, which is the side of the family that I grew up on, they didn't speak like that. They didn't say things like that. They didn't talk like that. That wasn't part of the dialogue or the lingo or anything that they were having around us. And I believe they weren't having that conversation amongst each other either, just based off of things I know personally about my family. So of course, we kept walking. I didn't know what it was. I pay him, when I tell you guys, I pay him dust. That is gay lingo for paying him no mind. And the day went on, and I went home. And I was sitting on my mom was getting clothes out to wear for work the next day. And I was sitting on my mom's bed, and I was like, well, Mom, what's a faggot? And I remember my mom stopping mid getting a shirt, getting a hanger out of the closet with a shirt on it. I remember this very specifically. My mom turned around. It seemed as if my mom's body was still... Excuse me, I don't have the coronavirus. Not that I know of. It seems like my mom's head had turned all the way around, but her body was still here. It's like her head had spun around to face me. But I'm sure I just kind of made that up in my mind. But my mom was like, what did you just say? And I said, what's a faggot? A man called me a faggot today at school. I can remember the hurt, looking at my mother's eyes and seeing the hurt in her eyes from what I had just saw her. Because I feel like at that moment, now as an adult, I feel like at that moment my mom knew my innocence about those types of things was gone. Because now I'm asking questions. Now she has to, this guy just took away my innocence just that fast. I always tell people, adults usually take away a child's innocence by slapping labels on things, talking the wrong things around children, having the wrong conversation around children, around the areas where children can possibly or potentially hear the dialogue that they're having with another adult. But my mom was like, are you sure he said this to you? And I'm like, yes, he said this to me and my friend. And, I went on to explain the story and how I gave my friend a hug. And the guy was like, don't do that gay shit. Don't hug him. He's a faggot. Mind you, I'm in the second or first grade. You can't be any older than 6 or 7. 5. You're in the 5, 6, or 7 range when you're in the first and second grade, I believe. So I wasn't that old. And this is an adult who's an adult. saying this to me. And my mom, I could just see the hurt in her eyes. I could see her hurting for me and hurting for her, because now she knows the shelter that she has, the shelter she so worked hard on to build for me has been shattered just by a stranger who has no idea how to keep their fucking mouths closed and how to be an adult. So my mom asked me, she said, AJ, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. Is it something bad? Because once again, I'm a kid. I don't know whether what this guy has said to me is a bad thing. I just know he said this to me, and I wanted to know what it was. I didn't know. I was a very curious child, very shy but very curious. My mom said to me, she said, AJ, if I was to go to the school with you tomorrow, would you be able to identify the person who said this to you? And I'm like, yeah, I see him all the time.
Instagram. Now, check out today's photo from the official Instagram account. Attachment.
About the situation. So I'm like,
Muted.
yeah, I would be able. Sorry, you guys, I still had all my notifications. I would definitely be able to identify him. So of course, she took me to school the next day. At that point, I knew it was something bad because I knew my mom worked very hard. She took care of me very diligently, but she also had to work. And she took me to school. She asked me to identify the guy. Of course, the guy was looking like, oh my God, like, oh my God. I'm sure he didn't think that I would have went home and, told my mom the story, because it was a very brief encounter. But that encounter changed the dynamics of my life forever. So of course I went to class and I asked my friend Kirby. I was like, hey, these probably aren't my words verbatim, but I was like, what's a faggot? That man called me a faggot yesterday. What's a faggot? And he was like, a gay person. And I'm like, a gay person? Of course, I don't know. Once again, I'm a kid. I don't know these things. I'm very sheltered. Grew up in a very conservative home. I'm going to keep saying that because that's very important in this story, that I grew up in a conservative home where those type of things were not spoken of. That was not in our dialogue, or not in my anybody close to me dialogue or conversation or anything of the sort. So I was like, a gay person? He was like, you don't know what a gay person is? I'm like, no, I don't. What's a gay person? He said to me, a gay person is when another lady likes another lady and another man likes another man, like you. And I was like, I'm gay? I didn't know what, I don't know what this, he was like, yeah. He was like, ain't you gay? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm gay or not. I don't even fully grasp the concept of what you're telling me, let alone can identify as a gay child or a gay person. And he was like, you like boys, don't you? And I'm like, no, I don't. He was like, you like girls? I was like, no. He was like, then you gotta be gay. If you don't like girls and you don't like boys, then you're gay. I was like, oh, okay. But he was like, I'm not gonna stop being your friend because you're gay. He was like, you cool with me. And I was like, wow, okay. And at that moment, I realized gay was something that you were not supposed to be. Gay was something that society deemed as not good, something society deemed as wrong, something society deemed as not the right thing to be or to do. And I was kind of crushed, to be quite honest with you. As a child, I was kind of crushed. And I went through life trying to suppress a lot of the feelings that I was having. There were boys in my class that I felt some type of way for, that I liked, past just, excuse me, past just a friendship. And I knew it was something different about me. I knew it was what they called gay. Now at this point, because I've been, you know, advised and I've been explained to that that's what it is. And I went through life really experiencing a lot of bad things in life. I experienced a lot of hate. I experienced a lot of teasing. I experienced a lot of bad things from my community. And when I say my community, I'm talking about the black community. I experienced a lot of hate and a lot of torment and a lot of anguish in my community as growing up as a kid. And it was that I was gay, coupled with I wasn't your typical black kid growing up in the hood. I spoke proper English. I always spoke like this. Yes, I did learn how to talk like I was from the hood. I can turn it on and I can turn it off. Because in my home I wasn't allowed to speak Ebonics. I wasn't allowed to speak slang in my home. I was not allowed to speak like the other kids did, pronounce words wrong and things like that in my home. I can't speak for anyone in this home, but in my home that wasn't allowed. But of course, you learn things. I lived in the hood. I lived in a little town called Pahokee. I lived in a hood that was the hood. I lived in the projects, which I didn't know until I grew up that I was living in projects. I was so like, oh my God, I lived in a project. Like, I wasn't a snob or anything like that, but I just didn't know. I was ignorant to, because I grew up in those places. I grew up in a place called Friend Village, which is a project. I grew up in those places, and it was normal. It didn't seem like a project. It seemed like a neighborhood that other people lived in, so I didn't know. But back to being gay coupled with being not your typical quote unquote black boy. I wasn't into the things that the other guys were into. I wasn't into football. I wasn't into playing with the little girls the way the boys were inappropriately playing with the little girls. Even then, in elementary school and in middle school, I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested in the things that the boys were interested in. At a certain age, boys start to be interested in girls. You start to show the interest in girls sexually. Especially growing up in the hood, you grow up a little faster than kids elsewhere that don't grow up in the hood. You tend to grow up a little faster because you see a little more things are more accessible to you when you live in the hood. I hope I'm saying this right. I don't want to offend anybody, but you are very privy to seeing more adult situations than someone in a suburban area. I was really weird. I liked outside. I liked the stars and the moon, and I was interested in Power Rangers. All boys were interested in Power Rangers, but I actually wanted to be a Power Ranger. I was interested in Power Rangers. I loved Sailor Moon, hence my Sailor Moon tattoo. If you guys can, I don't know if I'm sure you guys remember, I'm blind. I have a Sailor Moon tattoo, paying homage to me loving Sailor Moon. I was into you know, I hate to say this, but a lot of kids in the hood aren't interested in the education and being educated. Sorry, I hate to say it, but somebody has to say it. A lot of us aren't. It's because of the environment we grew up in and the things that go on in our environment. And there's a plethora of other things that contribute to that, coupled with the struggles that we go through in the hood, which a lot of them I didn't personally go through because my mom had a very good job all the time. Um, but I was different. I was weird, and I wasn't. I constantly got teased because uh, I was the gay kid. I was the weird gay kid, and you're weird and you're gay and things of that nature. And I went through life experiencing these things, not feeling loved, not feeling accepted, not feeling like I belonged, not feeling like I was worth it or worthy of anything. My family didn't start contributing to the perils that I was facing until I had gotten a little older, maybe like middle school. And in middle school, by then I knew what was tea. I knew what was going on. I'm using gay slang for a reason because I think I'm gonna do a little tutorial on gay slang too and stuff like that. I just want to go through the story real quick and just have the conversation. Um, I had started to be a little bit more feminine. I had started expressing myself a little more, and I actually once, because I'm gonna make this really quick and really explain what I'm talking about. Just want to tell you little stories that stick out in my head about the conversation. Um, there was one time I came home from school and I had overheard two of my cousins and my aunt in a room, maybe two of my aunts too, having a conversation about me and that I was going to be gay and how that was shameful and wrong and blah, blah, blah. And that, at that moment, was a pivotal moment also because I was like, oh my God, the people who are supposed to love me the most, the people that love me, that are supposed to love me, they don't love me. I felt like they didn't love me. I felt like they hated me from the candid conversation that I had overheard with them, and it really changed a lot of things in my life and helped project what I would become as a person um, from that moment on. I said all of that to say this is because you, as straight people, I feel like you guys don't understand what we go through. And a lot of you are so fucking ignorant that you guys don't want to understand what we go through because someone has told you as a child that that is wrong. Someone has told you that we're going to hell, that gay people are demons, and we're the breeding ground for HIV, and all of the things and these are the things that you think growing up, and how you feel, and then like I, who also was privy to conversations once I gotten a little older about stuff like this, went out into the world and got educated on the life, and the life of being gay and the life of being trans and stuff like that. And I changed my opinion about even me because I grew up hating myself because I was gay, I was black, I was weird. No one accepted me, no one loved me. There were people, I went to school and people made fun of me. People made fun of me. People said mean, horrible things to me. Oh my God, the things people would say to me, and I just had to accept it for a lot of time. And a lot of times we don't get to have the conversation and have an open conversation about a lot of these things because people are so not open to even having a conversation that they either want to offend you and hurt you, or they either don't want to offend or hurt you, don't want to say the wrong things to offend and hurt you. But if we don't have we don't open the dialogue, we don't have the conversation, people won't get educated that want to be educated. There's lots of straight people and that want to know about how we become gay. And my question to straight people is, when did you decide you were going to be straight? When did you say, I'm going to be straight, opposed to I'm going to be gay? Because for some odd reason, a lot of heterosexual people feel as if we choose to be homosexual, and that's just not true. I would never have chose a life for myself where someone hates me strictly and solely off the fact that I am gay. That's like saying I chose to be black. Like, no, I didn't choose to be black. I get discriminated against on many angles. I'm black. I'm gay. I'm not your typical black guy. I'm not into the typical black things that black society has deemed what black boys are supposed to be into. And I'm air quoting because that's what they tell the young black boys, that you're supposed to be into football and girls and the color blue and the color red and the things like that. And it wasn't until I had gotten older that I had been able to express myself and my creativity in a way that made me happy, and it honestly was very exuberating. There was also, I wanted to touch on a conversation that I had no idea would ever blow up the way it did. We're going to talk about this more when I do the video with my brother. Maybe this weekend we'll do the video. But there was my favorite person in the world. Oh my God. One of my favorite people in the world, T.S. Madison. And one of my other favorite people in the world, Chi-Chi, her gay daughter, Chi-Chi, were having a conversation. And she said the word fish to describe a genetic woman, a genetic female, a woman. She has said fish to describe her. Next thing I know, there's videos from everybody like, oh, T.S. Madison called this girl a fish, talking about her vagina and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whoa. When did that become about a woman's vagina? Now, when I was growing up as a little boy, a little gay boy, little girl, whatever you want to say, amongst my gays, we call ourselves little girls. But, you know, I'll be politically correct with you guys today because a lot of you guys are heterosexual, and there's some homosexuals that watch this too. The word fish. First of all, gay lingo has been around since the beginning of time. These were words that were created for the gays to have a dialogue that heterosexuals were not able to understand. Guys were never supposed to know what a lot of these things mean. They were never supposed to be mainstream. Once again, you know, being gay was like an underground scene. It wasn't politicized until of recent and stuff like that, and visible to audiences all across the world until now. So the word fish is a word that we use to describe women. Has nothing to do with their vagina, has nothing to do with the smell of their vagina. It's just a word that's used that we call women. If you guys ever, if heterosexual people out there ever hear a conversation when we're talking about a girl or even talking about ourselves or a trans girl, the conversation will go like this. Ooh, girl, did you see Fish yesterday? Yes, ma'am, I saw Fish yesterday. Ooh, Fish was sickening. Fish was so sickening. Fish weave was sickening. Her body was sickening. Yes, God, honey, yes. That's not talking about a girl's vagina. We're talking about her look. We're talking about her. We're calling her Fish. If we're having a conversation about another gay or another trans woman, it would sound like, yes, yes, ma'am. Chi was very much giving me very much fish out of water teas, fresh fish out of water, not fish out of oil teas, honey. Yes, he is really feeling his fish today. Or for a trans woman, we would be like, yes, she is sickening. She is giving me very much real fish out of water. She is giving me fish, yes, giving me very much fish teas, girl. She is Fish. She is very much Fish. There's nothing clockable about Miss Thing, honey. Miss Thing is giving me all fish out of water, no fish out of oil, even though she is fish out of oil. That's how a conversation would go with the gays about women. We are not your enemy, black women. I'm speaking to black women. We are not your enemy. We are very much your allies. You are the blueprint for a lot of gay boys. You are the blueprint for all of gay women. Trans women. You guys are the blueprint. There would be no feminine gay boy if there was a feminine black woman. There would be no serving real fish trans woman if there was no black woman. We look up to you. There's no thing. And I was just so clutching my pearls with the whole fish conversation because I'm like, oh my God, we've been using this lingo for years. I understand some women still don't understand, don't want us to call them fish. We won't. But we want the same respect when we tell you guys not to call us punks or sissies or faggot and stuff like that. We want that exact same respect. But for some odd reason, you guys do not show us that same respect. You still call us punks. You still call us sissies. You still call us faggots and stuff like that. And a lot of us gays, we accept it because we're like, oh, she ain't talking about me. She's talking about him or her. No, she's also calling you a punk or a faggot when she's talking about another gay person. You guys need to understand that. Because why would she not think that about you and think that about him? And you got only thing that separates you guys is nothing. So a lot of gay lingo, me and my brother are very much going to touch on this in our video, our joint video that we're going to do. I just want to come and do this video because it was on my chest, it was on my mind. And I just want to come talk to you guys really, really quick about, things and the conversation about being gay and opening up the dialogue and gays being visible now where people can also connect the dots like T.S. Madison said with Dr. Heavenly. And please go check out that video on Dr. Heavenly's page with T.S. Madison and Funky Dineva. The dialogue that they were having on that video was very educational. It was very much needed to happen. And I wish it was a little longer, but I loved every moment of it. Because as you guys know, I am in love with T.S. Madison. I am in love with Funky Dineva. I'm in love with Chi Chi and Oliver and Rock and all of the girls. Craig, Sweet Delicate. I got a crush on Craig. Ooh, I got a crush on Craig. I just actually bought Craig's books on my phone, my Audible books, and they were very, very good, very intriguing. So go over there. Shout out to Craig, the writer Stewart. If you guys want to get his books, they're sold everywhere. Amazon, everywhere where books are sold. Go and get them. They're really good. I'm actually going to get his third book too. But yes, you guys, go follow T.S. Madison at T.S. Madison Hitting. Go follow Chi Chi at Infamous Chi Chi. Go follow Craig at Craig the Writer Stewart. Go follow Funky Diva at Funky Diva. These are all the people that I love and adore. Go follow Dr. Heavenly on Dr. Heavenly. Just go follow all these people, Oliver, everybody. Go follow all the people that I love. I love them. And see you guys really soon. Hopefully it'll be a joint video with my brother. And I love you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share my videos. Trying to get my views up, trying to get my, subscribers up. It's slowly happening. I'm going to continue to be consistent because being consistent is what is key, and it'll pick up. And thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys later. Love you guys. Bye.
Stop recording.